Hi everyone, this is Everyday Artist. I'm Eve. Rogue is here with me on the couch, biting me. She's not really biting me, she's like play biting me. This is the day after Father's Day. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I am here to talk about stitching today. This is my Flosstube number 81, I believe. And I'm putting this down. It's been an interesting week, very busy. My father enjoyed his Father's Day. I don't know if I've mentioned my father is 90, and he's doing pretty good, but he still struggles with some stuff, and so we were really pleased that he was able to enjoy Father's Day. We went to my sister's house, and God, I tried to figure out what that reflection is caused by, and I don't want to close this window. The room is hot enough. It's the only one that's not facing anywhere where the sun comes in. So it's not open as in letting air in, because that would be unpleasant. But we can see outside. So we went to my sister's house, and we got Rudy's barbecue and stood in line there 45 minutes just to pick up a to-go order, you know. The line was that long. It was so good, though. It was worth waiting in line. And my dad ate a lot more than he normally does, so we were really happy. And he had a really good Father's Day, so that was really nice. But as a result, he's really tired today, but that's okay. It's okay to be tired from being busy, you know. He started on oxygen this past week, and he's done really well. It's really helping him. So, stop that. Stop scratching. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hi. No? Okay. She doesn't want to. She's sitting right here. No, you don't want to come over here. Anyway, I have been sewing, or more accurately, mostly I've been cutting. I need to organize my life when it comes to my crafts. And I keep trying, you know. But I have a lot of smaller project bags that I've gotten at the attic, little zipper stuff. And I have a few that I've made for myself. But I would like to group them so that, okay, for instance, my berry sal. I want to be able to put all of the berry projects in one bag. Not necessarily not separating them. I want to still be able to separate them into, you know, like the summer berries are all together, and the, you know, until I FFO them and that kind of thing while I'm working on them. But I also have other berries, you know, I've showed you the cat berry, the dog berry. And so I want to keep my berry sal in one bag. So that would need to be a larger bag. I have 2 larger bags that I've made. They're the same kind that I sell on my Etsy shop. And actually, this size. Okay, this is 14 by 15, if I remember correctly. The dimensions are written on the Etsy shop, but you know, my numbers do not stick in my head. If I need to remember a number, I have to write it down. And I remember when I moved to Florida, I couldn't remember my phone number. Oh, of course, you never call yourself, but you have to tell people your phone number a lot. Could not remember it. And it's because numbers don't stick in my head. And when I was younger, I used to think that that made me less smart than people who could remember numbers. Now, I'm not saying that there are not plenty of people who are smarter than myself. Of course, there are many people who are much smarter than me. But I came to realize, unfortunately, after school, that has no indication of intelligence. It's just everybody has different gifts. And I came to realize that when I was working at a craft store, and I can remember colors. I can match a color without having the color sitting in front of me. And I just assumed other people could remember the color. They can't. And that's nothing on them. It's just everybody has a different talent. You know, some people are talented at organization, and some that has nothing to do with other parts of their life that they're not talented at. I am not talented at organization. I can organize, but I'm not talented at it. So I think that it's 14 by 15. And it might be 12. No, it can't be 12. Because this is a 11 by 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So maybe it is 12. Let me see. Oh, look at that. So these are designed to accommodate a pattern, 8.5 by 11 pattern without folding it, and all the other stuff that you need. And I make matching project bags. Well, I've recently been trying to redesign these because at first I made project bags that had a snap, and I still like those, and I may make more that have a snap, but not as a set. I wanted to start selling them as a set instead of individual. But my sister says, isn't a zipper better and easier to put in once you finish, it's done. My sister doesn't sew. I said zippers are not easy necessarily to put in. They're not really hard, but a snap is also not hard. Anyway, I digress. So the first one I made, all of them that I made, this zipper was up here. And I said, I don't really like the aesthetic. So I made one, which is already sold, where the zipper is here. But I didn't like the way there was a row of stitching you could see here, and I was like, I don't really like that. So I said, well, maybe if I made them with French seams, because there was exposed seams in the inside too. You can't see them on the outside, but I don't like exposed seams on anything. The project bag has no exposed seams, right? It has one on the bottom, but it's just a partial thing. Anyway, so this one, I said, well, maybe if I made them French seams, then I could do that. So this one has French seams, and it is the size that I eventually will make all of them. However, I cut them all. I had 4 different bags cut out. So this is the first one that I sewed both of them. And I haven't put, there'll be a little charm here and here. So I guess technically this way is right. I don't know. And this bag has little gold shiny things on this fabric. But I said, I'm going to try to sew them together the way I did the one with the snap and see if that works. But I had to figure it out. Because even when I was doing the one with the snap, if I hadn't done them in a while, I had to figure it out. So this is the other, how the other ones are going to look, but narrower like that. I cut them all like if I was going to do a French seam. And I said, well, excuse me. I said, they're already cut that way. There's no point in chopping off a little bit. This one has this color on color on the inside. I have the bag cut out. It's not sewn together yet. Because this room here where I sew gets superheated in the afternoon. You can't be in here for very long without fan blasting on you, and even then it's very uncomfortable. Bees, and this one has, sorry, the zipper works. I don't know why that would. Has blue bees on the inside, and this beautiful floral, and just a purple pattern. So they'll have matching bags, and when those get done, I'll put them up on the Etsy shop. But that's what I was doing. Plus I cut out, I was talking to you about needing organizational stuff. I cut out a giant bag that I had seen Misty do on Missouri Star, and I bought all the stuff to do it last year sometime and never did it. And I said, if I want to organize stuff, I'm going to make myself that big bag. I actually have enough material to make two. Make myself that big bag, and I'm going to use that giant bag to put all those little Ziploc bags that I have all my quilting projects in that, rather than how I have them, just to help me keep organized more. And to that end, I said, I want a bag for all of my Crossstitch Camp pieces. And this bag was given to me by my sister. She went to Boston. She came back. She gave me this bag. Has a zipper closure, so nothing's going to fall out. Has a little anchor zipper pull. Anyway, I thought I would put all of my Crossstitch Camp pieces in here. Or all my berries. I'm not sure. But probably Crossstitch Camp. So, now I will talk to you about my stitching. and now that I'm done going on and on about bags, yeah. So I'm going to start with WIPGO. I was supposed to do 10 days on this bookmark. I'm sorry, there's a thread. I've done this bookmark, and of the ones that were left, this was my second favorite. I didn't expect this to take me 10 days, but you know, I'm doing a berryseasonal and cross-stitch camp, and you know, taking care of my dad and running around. So this is, make sure I have it right side up. This is as far as I've gotten. Put something behind it. So above this flower, there's this little bud. And then below this flower is another daffodil. So, and maybe halfway done. Still have the whole border. I've probably sewed 8 days, maybe 9 on this. I feel myself sliding slowly off the WIPGO bandwagon. Not because I don't want to do it, and not because it hasn't helped me finish so many things, but there's only so many hours in the day. That being said, I'm hoping that in the next day or two I can get this finished, because time is marching on, and so it was supposed to be 10 days on this, and I know that it's been more than 10 days in the month, but you know, working on other projects. Then I'm supposed to do 5 days on one of these. I have finished Mary Gryffindor, and both of these are by CrossStitchingForFun. Isn't it interesting that these were on WIPGO, but they both happen to be called the same month, and they're by the same designer? Who could figure, right? So I'm supposed to do 5 days on this. Now, I will not get one done in 5 days. They're little, but I decided to do them on a sparkly white. It's got like a silver in it, and doing this white on white, not so much fun. I'm trying to decide if I should do Mary Hufflepuff or Mary Ravenclaw. Thoughts? I'm leaning toward Ravenclaw, just because I like blue better than orange. Is that orange? Is it yellow? I don't know what Ravenclaw has in his hand. A bird? And then Hufflepuff also has something in their hand. Maybe a flower? But the other two aren't holding anything. Anyway, either one of those, that would be a new start. So, like I said, I know I'm not going to finish that in 5 days. Maybe if I finish my cross-stitch camp piece, I can focus on it, but I'm still doing my berry sal. But I really do want to finish these for Christmas. And I thought I would finish them all the same way. It's kind of hard to do that if you don't have them all together, if you're not finishing them all at the same time. Things happen. So that's my WIPGO. And I brought my WIPGO thing out here and managed to lose it. I don't know where it is. Anyway, that brings me to Cross-Stitch Camp. So I'm doing hands-on design, the summer basket for camp. I'm doing this one. I do want to do both of those, but you know, I really like them both, all three. Yeah. Anyway, let me do something with this needle. Can you hear the dog snoring behind me? Yeah, she's snoring there on the couch behind me. She likes to, if I'm sitting forward on a chair, she likes to tuck herself behind my back. So this is as far as I've gotten on that summer basket piece. I have finally, I like the DMC satin. It was more evident with 2 strands, but 2 strands was too lumpy. So I went ahead and went with 1, and you can see it, and I like it. I don't like working with the DMC satin, but I like it the way it's looking. So now that I know what white I want to use, it's easier to get moving on the rest of it. So I'm maybe a third of the way done. It's not very big, but I do have about half a month, not quite, left to finish it. I know that there's a lot of people who are like, I'm done, I'm done. But I don't have to be done until the end of the month. And if I'm not done by the end of the month, that's okay, really. So, because I will finish it, and I love it, and I have a different finishing idea, but I have to find the piece I want to finish it on. I will try. And that leads me to my last bit of stitching, but I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about. Summer berries. And the last time I spoke to you, I was working on this. And I have a finish. Yay! There's so many mistakes in here. So many visible mistakes. But the main one being that, and I don't know if I discovered that last week. I didn't rewatch my video. Sometimes I rewatch pieces of it, but I didn't. This is supposed to be 3 stitches wide. You see there, it told me. I mean 4. I took out a column of stitches here because I was, as you recall, I was working on the bottom down here. And when I got here, because I was going up and down, when I got here, I realized that the count was off because there wasn't enough room to put this row of stitching in. I was not going to take out both these trees and no. So I took out 1 row, 1 column of stitching here. This is actually over a stitch because in order to take that out, I would have had to take this whole row out. And I wanted to take out as little as I possibly could and still finish it. Now, I'm still very happy with the result. And I can't wait to finish them. Helen D's little s'mores, I just can't, so cute. And I'm going to get a little campfire because it's the only thing I wish there was a little campfire here, but if you see the picture, this is pretty much the space she had, so you understand why there's not a campfire there. But I'm going to, on the topper near the s'mores, I'm going to put a little campfire of some kind because I can. And now here, fire and camping. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country. Now, I know that California has a wildfire problem, and so does Arizona. And a lot of these fires are man-made by not being careful when you're in the mountains. I'm not talking about the fires that are man-made by, sparks from the exhaust of your car as you're driving through. And honestly, most of them are not that. Dropping a cigarette, stuff like that. Just so easy to light a whole forest on fire. And right now, one of the things that they teach you when you camp is to take out everything you went in with. You know, don't leave anything there. Now, there are certainly body functions that you must do there. And, you know, you can dig a little hole and put it there. Or in a lot of places, there is kind of a porta potty kind of thing that the Forest Service has. Much of northern Arizona is on fire. Maybe they've gotten further at putting it out. But it was started by a man who decided he wanted to make sure he didn't leave anything there. Now, there are numerous signs saying how dry it is. No flame, right? He decided to burn his toilet paper. Used toilet paper. Yeah. Lit a good deal of northern Arizona on fire. We need to enjoy our woods, but we also need to protect them, right? We need to protect them from ourselves. And I am not somebody who, you know, overly preaches on, you know, human footprint in the world, because I believe that God is bigger than that. But don't start fires when it's hot, when it's crackly, when there's signs that say no fires, because it's so easy to cause devastation. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. So that leaves this berry. And it is charted. I put it out of my reach. I didn't mean to. It is charted in deep blue sea color, classic colorworks. As you know from my Crossstitch Camp piece, I prefer blues on the teal side, even for a patriotic piece. And you saw my big giant teal bag, right? Both of the project bags that I made for myself, teal. So I decided to use blue topaz, Weeks Dye Works. But then, you know, which blue do I use for the topper? Well, those are purples. But I think maybe this one will work. Because, you know, the Ruby Mountain Dye Works packet didn't plan on me switching the color to teal. But I went ahead and did my new start. It's probably a little too far down, but you know, whatever. So there's my new start. And again, I wish you could see the whole pattern, but that's this M right here. And it just says good old summertime with some swirlies and stuff. So the words good old are right here. You can see the good, and the old is over here, and this is time. And then there's 3 of these swirlies, and there's more swirlies, and there's some things on the sides that look kind of like starfish. Well, that's just not doing it for me. So I'm going to make the capper like it says here, like it has. But I'm thinking about doing a seashell bead and maybe making like something like a starfish, or finding a starfish big enough to where it looks good here, and then having, you know, some seashell beads, because I just really don't like that big white flower. And what Helen did on hers is okay, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So, as Friday, as I was sewing madly on project bags, the attic called me. These are the autumn berries. I just love the little scarecrow. Isn't he cute? Look at that face. And there's just leaves all around, and his arms are really long. These are more full coverage than the other berries. There's the single color one. This is a giant pumpkin with some instructions that are impossible to understand because I can't see the whole pattern. I don't know what she's talking about, so I'm not positive I'm going to do it. I will see what Helen D does, and maybe I can figure it out from there if she does that. I don't know. But to me, it's like, what? And I've read it several times, and I don't understand, but I don't have to worry about that right away. I'll do that one last. So I think I'm going to start on this one, and then this one, and then that one. And I might be done by December. Hey. But, yeah. I'm real excited to start on those. And I looked in my stash. When I was at the attic, I almost bought all the threads. They're all Weeks Dye Works. But for these berries, I've bought so many threads. And I remember changing most of the colors in the spring berries, and I loved them. So I'm going to change some of these colors or use DMC, and there might be one or two that I'll buy. But the shirt on this pumpkin is 2 colors of blue. I have 2 colors of blue. And there's like 4 colors of red. Orange, rather. And then kind of this red here. You know, I'm like, I don't think I need to buy colors. I have oranges and reds and blues. And if I feel like I need to buy one, it's not like the attic isn't still there. But I was looking at these, thinking, no. I was looking at these, and I said, you know what? I was looking through my fabric. I have this, it's Morocco mustard. Wouldn't that look beautiful for this one with like a gold thread? Wouldn't that be pretty? Very fall looking. And then I was thinking that either the pumpkin or there's no one-on-one on these. I'm so happy. At least I didn't see any. Either the pumpkin or the scarecrow can be this rustico. And then I do have these other remnants from other berries. They're both Lugana. Can't remember what the colors are. I have the bags, but these are both 32 count Lugana. And so I think I have the fabrics. So I don't think it's going to take me that long to do that last summer berry. Then I'm going to go ahead and start on the autumn ones while I finish the berries. And speaking of finishing berries and finishing things, well, let me save that. Because while I was at the attic, I saw this. And I'm going to use this. The August Cross-Stitch Camp is to finish something that you've never done. You can use different thread, different fabric. I was going to use linen, I thought. But then I saw this and I thought, I've never done anything by this designer. And those dogs are so cute. They kind of look pasted on, but I didn't look exactly at the pattern. This is charted in DMC. And I have like all but one or two of the colors. So, August Cross-Stitch Camp. It's not very big. Well, it's a little big. 139 by 79. And by big, I mean something I can finish in a month. So, hopefully, I'll be able to do that. If I don't finish, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's just another project. And speaking of summer cross-stitch camp, for July, my sister is feeding her cats. Rogue has to go see if she can get a cat snack. For July, I planned it's to work on something that you can finish some way other than framing it. And honestly, I could do either of these. But I think I'm going to just do the berry. I love this too. I think I'm just going to do the berry. Yeah. So, cross-stitch camp. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was FFOing. I try to get things FFO'd right away. This two things right here, this one, I stitched them a year ago, May and June of last year. And there's one more. It's a freebie that came with one of these. I can't show you because there's no picture. And I have the space on this piece of cloth to put it. And I showed you, you know, how I wanted to finish it on that USA chalkboard thing. But I haven't. And I haven't stitched the last one. But here it is, middle of June, and I have another July where these aren't going to be there, you know? I don't know. I think I need to finish it. So that if I do, that means I may or may not finish. Sorry about the dog. Rogue, come here. Why are you barking? Huh? You stop. So if I do finish them, am I going to get that last one done? Because I certainly don't have time to stitch that right now, what with WIPGO and Cross-Stitch Camp and my berryseasonal. It's just mostly just type. I don't think it would take me that long. I don't know. But thinking of 4th of July, I was getting another scissor fob that we sold off the Etsy shop, and I saw this and I was like, look, this is on our Etsy shop. And I thought, well, I'll just show people because why not? So that FFO that I want to do, honestly, I don't think I have time to do the third one. But if I FFO those, I was going to do them just relatively small, not fancy or anything, so that I could stick them on that USA thing. Maybe I could just put them on a tier tray or something. I have a tier tray. It's empty right now, except for metal bugs. Stick them on a tier tray or something, and then finish that last one and put them on that USA for next year. And then, speaking of 4th of July, I bought this at Hobby Lobby. Seriously? You can stop now. I bought this at Hobby Lobby. And after the 4th of July, I'm going to use it to finish this cow. Now, I haven't measured this cow, but when I saw it, I knew it was going to be big enough for the cow. Yeah, that's another thing. I normally don't have issues with that. Numbers, yes. Remembering the size of stuff, not usually. So, I think it'll look nice on that, and it'll be easy to cover up the little rivets if I want to. But, because it's got this little cute checked border, which I think is not going to fight with the cow. Depends on how I do the finishing. But if I wanted to, I could decoupage something over that. So after, I'm going to use this to finish that cow. And then the last thing was, remember I talked to you last week about winning something from Stitching with the Housewives? It arrived in this bag, which I think is adorable, to have their own gingham plaid stuff. Is it called buffalo plaid? I don't know what it's called, buffalo plaid. I've never got it. And this cool project bag. They're called Mad for Plaid project bags. I like the size. It's pretty cool. And the DMC pack for the Boo Crew stitch along. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to want to do the stitch along, but now that I have everything, why not, right? And this cute little ghost scissor pull. I haven't put it on the zipper pull yet. Did I say scissor pull? Zipper pull. And you're supposed to put it on a purple fabric. Now, I haven't looked at the call for how big it needs to be, but I saw what the size that Kimberly Jolly had on her YouTube, and I think this piece will be plenty big, and this is one of the pieces that I dyed. So if it needs to go this way or this way, I think the size is going to be fine. I have to just measure it because I'm not going to buy expensive purple fabric to do a free pattern. So if I need something bigger than this, I won't do it. No, I might go ahead and get some white fabric and make it purple, because Hobby Lobby is really stepping up their fabric selection, but they don't have purple. I love the Murano Carré they've been getting in. So many colors, so many options. But they've been also getting a lot of colors in like Ada, 18 count, 14 count Adas, and they have some linens there. They've really been, stepping up their cross-stitch fabric game there. So I know they're never going to have fancy floss, because they have a problem already with 5-finger discounts in the charm department. The charms are not that expensive, and they go on sale frequently. Different company, different ones. They're all actually some division of Hobby Lobby, but maybe $2.50 to $5 for charms, a pack of 4 or 5. If you can't afford that, why are you in the store? To just take one off the package and take it. I don't understand stealing. You need that charm so badly you have to steal it? What on earth could you possibly need it for that badly? I don't know. I used to work retail in a craft store. Stealing is difficult. And not just stealing. We had a woman that was looking at something. I don't know what. She had her child with her. And in that craft store there was dye. Fabric dye. Across from the silk flowers. It was where the two product types met. This little boy took a black spray fabric dye and sprayed it down a whole row of silk flowers. And the woman, an employee found it while she was still there, while they were doing it. She took off. She didn't even say, "I'm sorry, my son, ruined all your product." Hundreds of dollars of silk flowers. Another woman was looking at the craft books, and her son wanted to look at something on a top shelf. He climbed up and tipped. I don't know if the bottom shelf just flips in. It's not bolted in. It just flips in. So when he climbed up, so don't climb. He climbed up, and that shelf, when he was standing on his toes on the end here, went like this. And we had baskets of marbles. This was mid-store. A row of baskets of different color marbles for people to use for various craft projects and stuff. And he tipped that shelf and sent many of those baskets flying. Marbles were pinging off the front door. And the manager heard the commotion, and he walked into the aisle. He saw the boy there. He took his arm and said, "Go find your mother and stay with her." That's all he did. He got a nasty note. The mother sent a nasty note to the corporate that manager was rude to her son. Do you know how long it took us to clean that up? And people, we have, Florida elderly people walking around. You can't have them walking on marbles. Somebody could fall and break a hip. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. And I had to work at craft stores. Of course, most of my paycheck went there, but, had to. So I've been talking a lot longer than I normally do. This is a very long video. Thank you all for listening. I hope you guys had a great holiday. Thank you to my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. And I should put that at the beginning, and I'm so sorry. So I hope you stuck around to the end to hear it. And we'll see you next week. Bye.